It's officially Flipmas, and this year I'm flipping my way to Christmas. Starting December 1st, I'll be dropping 12 furniture flip makeovers every other day, all the way through Christmas Eve. We're talking curbside finds, Facebook Marketplace rescues, and a whole lot of paint magic. And if we're good enough, hopefully Santa will come leave us some supplies under the tree for us to use throughout the process. Each flip has its own story. Some are total disasters, and some are dream pieces. But every single one is getting saved from the landfill and turning into something worth showing off under the tree. If you love a good before and after, satisfying sanding shots, and that fresh paint reveal, this series is for you. So grab your cocoa, turn up the Christmas playlist, and follow along for the 12 days of Furniture Flipmas, because this holiday season, we're making old furniture merry and bright again. Welcome to Flipmas. Let's get to work. Welcome to Flipmas, day 6. We've been working hard all month long. These babies right here, these are matching set with the video that I just put out the other day. The solid wood set, these ones are the matching nightstands. I am going to pair them together, so we're going to do the same technique that we did on the last one on this one's. But you know what, nightstands a little secretive. They actually sell for just as much as regular dressers, so if you're a beginner and you don't have a truck, a large car, a second person to help you load a bunch of stuff up, start with nightstands. You can make a lot of money off a nightstand, and you don't need anybody else in your life to help you move these things. You can move them all on your own. They're so lightweight, they're so portable, and you still make a great profit. So if you're just starting out, I really suggest nightstands. So let's get to work. I'm so lucky to have found the matching set. They absolutely sell the best when put all together. Check out Flipmas 5 to see how the matching dresser turned out. My plan is to sand the top down to raw wood, then paint the body. But I'm a little worried about all this bubbling on top. These nightstands are tricky because they're made up of wood veneer over top of a very porous particle board. Some water got under the veneer somehow and down into that particle board, which is why it started bubbling. So to get a smooth surface, I'm going to need to knock this down quite a bit. But I'm worried if I have to sand it down too flat, then I'm going to cut too far into that particle board and I can't save it, and I'm going to be unable to sand it and strip it and stain it. Usually, if I have a small section of burn through, I do try to save the entire top by manually fixing that with one area with a little bit of paint. But this may end up being a large burn through patch, which I'm uncomfortable trying to repair, and I think it wouldn't turn out very well. So I normally have to default to painting. So moral of the story, if you see bubbling, you're likely going to need to paint it and the veneer can't be saved. So let's get sanding down and see how extensive the damage is. We might get lucky. I'm holding my breath while sanding, hoping this particle board does not peek through too much. But as you can see, we didn't get so lucky and a lot of that particle board started to get through. Such a bummer, but that's just how it goes sometimes. I'm not going to bother sanding the rest of this all the way down since we are officially destined to paint it at this point. But before we put any water-based products back on this damaged area, let's seal it up with a shellac spray. If I put water-based product right back onto this particle board, it's likely going to bubble up again. So we need to hit it with an oil or shellac-based product. Really, anything will do as long as it is not water-based. While we're in our prep stage, I noticed that one of the drawers is totally wiggly in the frame. So let's pull it out and see what the issue is. Looks like the slider track has one of the sides missing, so let's measure and print a new piece to put in. But that'll take some time though, so I'll revisit that repair towards the end once my 3D printer is done printing. A lot of flippers refuse to buy pieces with drawer issues, and I get that, but honestly, they're just not that complicated. You can easily see where the problems are, and with time, you'll slowly build up your skill set. If you're wanting to make the most profit margins and buy stuff for only like $20 or even get free stuff, you're likely going to have drawer issues. They just go together. But now you have me, and pretty much every piece I get has drawer issues, and I show you how to fix them. And you don't need a 3D printer to fix these issues. There are parts all over Amazon that can fix any drawer issue. My husband just likes to pretend that he's useful by printing these repair parts for me, so please give him some love in the comments. He's a good man. He's just trying to help. But back to the nightstands. Looks like I've already scuff sanded the drawers and now putting Bondo into the old hardware holes. Next up is trimming the extra curves on the bottom of the skirt. Every piece comes with a treasure inside, and this one happened to be a faux stick-on mustache. I already got one of my own, so I'll put these in the donate pile. Give it a good scuff sand without the drawers and wipe it all down. If you didn't see in Flipmas 5, Santa came by early and dropped off some of the Wise Owl products. We picked them at random in Flipmas 5 and landed on using the 1-hour enamel paint in the color Jet Black. But before any good paint job, let's prime. Wise Owl has great primer in a variety of colors, and since we're going with a black paint, I use their dark gray primer. Their primer is great for blocking bleed through and providing smooth, uniform finish, which is great for covering up all the damage that we have. While that primer dries, let's finish out these drawers. I need to sand down the Bondo and drill new holes. My plan is to use the same brass knobs that we picked out in Flipmas 5. I'm not sure if the dresser and the nightstands will end up selling together, but just in case, I want to make sure that they are refinished in the same style so that someone wants the entire set, it all matches and looks uniform. Once the primer is dry on the base, let's pop in the drawers and spray them down. Angle the sprayer around all the edges to get the drawers perfectly coated. Now is a great time to fix any of the imperfections that you see, especially on the top surface. I have high standards for how smooth the top needs to be, especially when painting, so I'm going to be pretty picky and add wood filler to any of the spots that need attention. Now on to the main event, 1 hour enamel paint by Wise Owl. Wise Owl has a unique blend of paint because it sets in 1 hour and is incredibly tough, fast drying acrylic enamel for interior and exterior use. The water-based formula is made primarily for cabinets and doors and has a stone-like satin top coat finish. It's the perfect choice for this flip because we want our furniture durable and protected. Again, once the first coat of paint is dry on the frame, pop those drawers back in and spray down the front. Be sure to pop the drawers out just a little bit to dry so they don't end up sticking shut. Things are looking great, so let's add coat number 2. This paint has such great sprayability qualities that I didn't even need to break out my fancy Graco sprayer. My Wagner spray gun delivered an excellent finish with it. And to help with spraying, I ended up adding just a splash of water. Now that my print is done, let's figure out how to attach this new slider. Girl math says that I need wood glue to stick it to the wood drawer, while also needing super glue to stick it to plastic. I don't know, so let's just use both and hope for the best. I won't lie, I do get a little nervous when gluing down a new slider track. If the placement isn't perfect, it won't slide well. And if it doesn't slide well, this entire flip is worth $0. You can do all the work in the world to make sure it's centered and straight and perfect, but oftentimes the track and the frame isn't straight. So if you put them together, they're just not going to match up. So my solution is to put the drawer back into the frame while the glue is still wet. That way it dries while it's perfectly aligned with that specific track. No guessing, no adjusting, and it will slide perfect every single time and be a custom fit to this specific spot. Wow, this one has gone fast. Let's throw on these brass knobs and recap where we started. A highly sought after matching set of nightstands with a lot of drawers, but also a bit of damage. And now where we ended. Something about black paint just whispers to my soul. Is it classy? Is it moody? I can't tell which end it lands on, but I love it. I'm sad that I wasn't able to stain the tops, but sometimes you just have to pivot and move on. Time is money, and this just one needed to be painted from top to bottom without wasting any more time trying to fix that damaged top. But now, you're probably wondering about the sale, the cold, hard cash at the end of this tunnel. Well, let me tell you. This was my fastest sale in quite some time. I was worried with it being the holidays that this might sit on the market for a while, but I couldn't be further from the truth. The entire set, including the dresser, sold within 2 hours for $1,200. Mind you, I bought this entire set for only $40, so that's always a great day in my books. I got dozens of messages from people wanting it, and now most of them have turned into potential future clients and are on my wait list for 2026. This flip was great money, but it was even better marketing for my brand. What do you think? Should I do more of these dark sets? Thank you, Wise Owl, for sending the paint and primer. I hope you've been enjoying the Flipmas series. I'll be posting every other day leading up to Christmas.